The 14th of October edition of Monday Night Raw came to the fans from the Ford Center, Indiana. The 2-hour show packed a punch with Cody Rhodes and Gunther coming face to face and the Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton, appearing on the red brand. Join us now as we look at the hits and misses from the show. Hits 1. WWE covering the entrance of a superstar from the backstage area, this time Rhea Ripley. In what has become a trend recently, WWE opens many of its shows nowadays with a wrestler's entrance from the backstage portion of the arena. This week, Rhea Ripley opened the show by entering a packed Ford Center. This way of entering the arena looks super cool and makes the fans feel that they are part of the adventure from the get-go. Such behind-the-scenes visuals only work if they are used sparingly, and thus far, the Stamford-based promotion has used these special entrances to perfection. 2. Tiffany Stratton's unexpected team-up with Rhea Ripley. WWE likes to pit random superstars in star-studded tag team matches on TV, but if such encounters have a context to them, such hastily booked clashes could work. This was the case with SmackDown's Tiffany Stratton appearing at the red brand, then first confronting and later pairing up with Rhea Ripley. Any wrestling fan likes continuity, and WWE made the SmackDown ruckus caused by the heel trio of Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, and Dominic Mysterio into a crisp, short-term storyline. The fact that Stratton is the incumbent miss. Money in the Bank makes it all the more spicy, as we'll see later in the video. 3. Protecting both the women's tag team champions and the challengers. WWE booked itself into a corner by pitting the women's tag team champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against the damage control duo of Kairi Sane and Io Sky on television. All 4 individuals' ring prowess demands that any clash between them should at least occur in a premium live event. However, the presence and interference from the team of NXT superstars, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, ensured that both the champions and challengers were protected. The feud between the team of Cargill and Belair against the 2 Japanese high flyers looks destined for an upcoming PLE. 4. Cody Rhodes and Gunther come face to face. Only less than 3 weeks separate us from the Crown Jewel PLE, wherein the WWE Champion Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther would face each other in a mouth-watering champion versus champion match. The global wrestling phenomenon is taking a no-hands-before-the-event approach to this, as the 2 top guys engaged in a fiery promo on Raw this week. This clash has a big match feel around it, and both the competitors did stellar work on the mic to hype up this highly consequential main event bout. WWE did a fine job arranging a verbal confrontation between Rhodes and the ring general. The latter even brought up the so-called weakness of his high-profile adversary. The American Nightmare also didn't hold back, as he reminded Gunther of his historical achievements, such as ending Roman Reigns' 1,316-day WWE champion run or slaying the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Now that both parties have spewed the first shot of verbal venom, it'll be interesting to see what WWE has in store for these 2 main eventers before they lock horns in Saudi Arabia next month. 5. Plants the seeds for the original Bloodline's reunion. Even though Jey Uso rejected Jimmy Uso's advances, seeking to ask his help to thwart the new version of the Bloodline, it feels like a yeet from the Intercontinental Champion isn't too far. It's a given that Jey will help his cousins, perhaps even the honorary Oots, Sami Zayn, but how things materialize would keep the audience glued to their screens. 6. WWE masterfully uses the unpredictability aspect. The WWE Women's Champion going up against the Women's World Champion at the upcoming Crown Jewel PLE has made the role of Tiffany Stratton very integral. Will she cash in her MITB contract on that night? It is a question that remains to be answered, but WWE was of the idea that why wait for the cash-in till next month, and why not tease it on the recent edition of the Red brand? Although Stratton has tried to cash her briefcase on Nia Jax in SmackDown on many occasions, frankly, her attempts have become repetitive, but the fact that the former NXT Women's Champion was trying to shock Liv Morgan, and that too on Raw, was a breath of fresh air. This will keep the audience on the edge of their seats throughout. Now, let's discuss the major misses. All talk and no substance. Shouldn't the 4 American badasses deal with their adversaries between the ropes? That is precisely what the fans would be wondering about Chad Gable's impressive ensemble, American Made, which also features the talented Creed brothers and the ruthless Ivy Nile. Instead, all 4 of these supremely gifted superstars appear on the show as part of vignettes, hyping up how the American population could call them their own. What's the best way to impress the masses? By competing in the squared circle and judging by American Made's stellar impact in their limited appearances, the wrestling juggernaut is missing out on their wrestling exploits. Why change the Vikings tag team's name? The Vikings had not competed on the main roster for months due to injury, first for Eric and then Ivar. The duo did return to WWE programming this Monday night, but with a different name, the War Raiders. At the same time, it's understandable from the Stamford-based promotion's perspective, but it is a fact that the two captured the fans' imagination as the Vikings. Hence, they should have ideally returned with the same gimmick instead of a different name. When is the New Day split coming? WWE has teased a split in the ranks of the New Day for months. However, the promotion has taken ages to further this angle, with things moving at a snail's pace every week. And this edition of the Red Brand was no different as Kofi Kingston faced Bron Breakker. This match did nothing else but hype up the feud between Breakker and the Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso. The higher-ups in the Stamford-based promotion need to take a call soon to determine whether they are disbanding the popular faction or not. Otherwise, the careers of both veterans in the group would remain stuck in limbo. Enough of Karrion Kross's manipulations. We get it. Karrion Kross is a master manipulator, as he has shown on numerous occasions by turning friends into foes, a la The Miz and R-Truth. But when will he dazzle the main roster with his wrestling chops, like he successfully did during his NXT days? Kross's character has undoubtedly performed better if we consider his dismal feuds when he initially returned in 2022. Surprise! Surprise! A performer must excel in the ring work to achieve a sustained push in any wrestling organization. It feels like now is the time for Triple H to transition Kross into a consistent grappler finally. The Monday Night Raw episode on the 14th of October was a power-packed show from start to finish. WWE looked to further multiple storylines, and the Stamford-based promotion delivered a strong show. Barring a few misses, this week's Red Brand edition was smooth.